Welcome to the Parable of Design podcast. I am your host, Daria Davis Red. Today I am here with my girl, Allie Durr, a super talented artist, designer, musician, and singer from Jackson, Mississippi. Ever since I met her in college, she has always been a super dope friend, peer, and colleague. Today's topic is called What's in a Name? In Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare wrote, "What's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet." That quote means the names are irrelevant. You are who you are. I totally get it. However, I still believe there is a ton of power in naming and claiming who you would like to be, regardless of what other folks think. As creatives, we have the power to bring visions to life. We also have power to create our opportunities. With this power, we can name ourselves as we see fit to describe who we are and what we do. Sometimes creative careers pan out differently than we imagine them to. Put some of that 9 to 5 energy into side hustles and or the passions you may not be pursuing full time. Doing so gives you some control over your creative narrative, vision, and name. I immediately thought about this topic and Allie and her path into the music world. I think her story is super interesting and you'll think so too. Welcome, Allie Durr.
Hey.
Yay! So how are you doing?
I'm doing really well, really well. A lot of great things been happening as far as being a creative and some transitions as well. And so um, I'm knocking it out the ballpark, I can say.
Okay. Knocking it out.
And on business.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into some icebreakers just to kind of loosen up a bit.
Okay.
So the first one that I have is, if you had to describe yourself as an animal, which would it be and why?
I would describe myself as a leopard. For one, I love leopard as a pattern, as a material. Um, and also, too, a leopard has its own personality. They're observant, they're fast on their feet, they're creative. Um, they are part of the cat family, but you do know that they have their own distinctive way of catching their prey. And so,
Ow.
in essence, to that, just being a creative and artist, there is a distinctive way that you look at things, how you capture it, how you catch it, how you go after it. So I would describe myself as a leopard.
Okay, I love that. Oh wow. You took it there. Okay. I don't know what I was expecting, but okay, you did that. Okay, so the next one might be a little deep, might not, I don't know. But where did you grow up and did that affect who you became?
I grew up in the west part of Jackson, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
Um, very is a family oriented community.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went to high school at Provine High School. It's a I want to say very talented school, predominantly black. But that's where I got my first singing opportunities, in front of the
Mm.
whole school, and where I um, was in a talent showcase and in the Beta Club and Honor Society. So um, pretty much that started me with being a talented individual and just being, I guess, who I am now, part of who I am
Mm.
now, and but that's where I'm from, and I'm grateful to be here, living here in West Jackson. So.
Awesome, awesome. I love that. Okay, we're gonna have to touch on a few of them points a little later, but I'm gonna slide into the next icebreaker. What is your morning routine? I know I have a night routine, but some people are way more advanced than me and they have a morning routine. Do you have one of those? And if so, what is it?
My morning routine. So I set my alarm for 5:30. So 5:30 is like my meditation. Um it's for me to actually get up to get myself started for the rest.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
I do take time out in the morning to meditate and just to give thanks that I'm alive, that I'm still breathing.
Mm.
And I play music. I watch maybe a sitcom just to get my day started because that's what I used to do when I was in elementary school. Uh,
Mhm.
I used to watch Saved by the Bell at 7 o'clock.
Oh.
7 o'clock in the morning. Watch Saved by the Bell while I was getting ready to go to school, or just waiting for my cousins to come by the house so we can all carpool and go to school together. But that still sticks with me today, even as an adult, just watching a sitcom before I go, start my day or whatever. And that's pretty much my morning routine, from meditation to watching a sitcom to preparing for the day. That's it.
Okay, I love that. A lot of time, like to yourself, which is great. Sounds like you give yourself a lot of time so that you're not rushing and kind of just
Mhm.
ejecting yourself into the day without that, meditative preparation and just kind of chill. I love that. Okay. Um, so the next one, are you an introvert or an extrovert? Like I like to call myself an ambivert because I'm a little bit of both. How would you describe yourself?
I'm a little bit of both too. Like
Okay, I feel
I
that.
know how to be an introvert, but then it's like my extrovert comes out when I don't want it to. But it's like Mike's like, you're an extrovert. Don't be doing it. You because I like more so with an introvert, like you kind of like you just watching, like watching your surroundings and watching
Right, right.
getting talked to, who's sociable. So you trying to figure like everybody out. But at the end of the day, like you say, we are ambiverts, if I'm saying that right. But yeah.
That's right. You know what? I don't even know if that's an official name. That's just what I call it.
I
But
like it.
I feel okay. Look at us, ambiverts. Okay. Okay. So this is our last icebreaker question, and the question is, "What's your favorite movie, and what do you think it reveals about you?"
One of my favorite movies, I must say, I have a few, but I'm gonna say this one. I like The Incredibles. Um, and the reason why I like The Incredibles, I like to watch it because whatever mood that I may be in, I can always like look forward to The Incredibles giving me some type of laughter.
Mm,
Because
okay.
all four of them have their own they have their own characteristic of saving the world, or just, um they have their own creative abilities. And by them being human, they have to, like navigate with everybody else, be social, and then like when they have to save the world, they go into their creative abilities, whether they can run
Mhm,
fast, whether they can lift, where they're elastic, where they got speed or whatever. And so like it's so funny because it's also humorous too,
mhm.
because Dash is like my favorite character. And so I just that's one of my favorites, and plus I like cartoon movies. They're always fun, cool to watch. So that's one of my favorites.
Okay, cool. So, what do you think that reveals about you?
It reveals my self-esteem. The way that I see myself, being around um being around people that's like me, you know,
Mhm,
and like creators, being around people that's like us. Um when we're around each other, we we have our own style. Like the way we present things, the way we show our art, we have our own style, but we're a family. We understand
mhm,
each other, and we know how to face the world. We know how to face reality and put art with it and things of that. So I think that that pretty much ties what that reveals about me. And I also it also expresses my childhood too, just being an adult. So yeah, that's what I get from that.
Okay, cool. Okay. So speaking of that movie and revealing about you and who you are and being surrounded by all of these creatives, how has your creative journey been so far?
Oh, it has grown. I think I've seen more. I think I've seen more. I think I've seen more teachable moments,
Mm-hmm.
um, and I've seen victories. But I say teachable moments because when you have so many opportunities, um, to where you have to balance. Um, that's where the teachable moment comes in because
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like um if you love these things, if you love what you do, and if you have these abilities to do it, then you have to learn how to balance. And I think that part I had to learn to do that. And
For
so
sure. Yeah.
yeah, I had to learn to do that and still, give the people and serve the people what they want. And so cuz like I don't I don't like to let people down when it comes to presenting art,
Mm-hmm.
when they ask me if they need anything, and cuz I believe in, art brings a form of completion. And so like I I had to learn that that I had more teachable moments. Just learning how to balance and get things done in a timely manner. Not to procrastinate, learning not to procrastinate, but get on it, and then just, making sure that you are ahead of the game. So um it has grown. My art has grown. There is, even with the music and things of that, collaborating with different colleagues, and also I have another surprise, but I can't say it right now, but I will reveal it soon. But
Okay. Okay.
there's another leap. There's another leap that I've taken. So
Okay.
it will be revealed soon. But there's another leap I've been taking. So I say it has grown because I didn't really see myself. Well, I won't say see myself as that, but um I didn't really think I would go that route. But
Okay.
it's an incredible journey. And yes, 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 yes.
Okay, I love that. See, that's what I'm saying. You and your path and just being
Mhm,
able to take these risks is just so inspiring to me. It's just like I love how you're just not in a box. It's like I can
uh-huh,
do this and I can do that too. And then here's another opportunity and it's a little bit different, but
mhm.
I'm gonna do that too. I'm here for that. Like honestly, that is so inspiring. So with you having these opportunities, I know that you play the guitar. Are there any other instruments that you play? And within that, how do you balance like art, design, and music?
So besides the guitar, I play bass guitar as well. Um,
Okay.
and in between those times I get everything done, I set a timeout to give myself 30 minutes to an hour to rehearse or to practice on my instruments. And sometimes I will be up around, if I can't sleep around midnight, I'll be up playing my guitars.
Mm,
And
okay.
so um I also too I also play piano a little bit, but I feel like I play the same chords and same songs.
I mean,
I,
that's still playing. That's still playing.
so yeah, I make time for it, and I make sure that and also too, like when I'm thinking of a song to write, or if I'm practicing on other songs, I make sure that I have that time to cater to those instruments.
Hmm.
So like I say, it's just about balance and learning how to just make time for everything with so many things.
Right, right. Okay. Okay. So earlier you were talking about you said you went to Provine. Is that how you pronounce it? High school?
Pro,
Okay. You were saying what how did you pronounce it?
Provine, you right.
Provine. Oh, okay, okay. And you were saying that when you were in high school that was I guess one of the beginning moments where you were able to perform for the first time, I guess, in front of a bunch of people. So is that when you started singing, or did you have another sort of
Well,
beginning other than that?
yes, I've also well, I started singing um at a very young age, between 1 and 4 years old, and
Hmm.
I began singing in church, in a youth choir, the baby choir, which they call it the Sunshine Band. And so I've been singing in church. I've been singing in school choirs, and I didn't really do the soloing, until like I was a teenager.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
that's when I kind of discovered. I won't say discovered I could sing, but that was a big step for me doing a solo instead of the background. And it was nervous. Well, I don't say it was nervous, but I was nervous. Even having my first solo at church, I was nervous about that. And still to this day, I can hear. I heard a clip of me singing a particular song, and I'm like, "Woo!" I heard so many like, like, oh, like, oh. Like, wow, like my voice is really, really grown. But from there, and then singing in high school, I was in the choir, and um I had teachers that would ask me to sing for assembly programs, for Mr. and Mrs. Provine events, talent showcases, beta club talent showcases. And by the way, we actually were in fifth place in Tupelo, Mississippi. Mm.
Oh wow.
We didn't get a trophy, but we were top five.
But still, right. Okay. That still counts.
Yeah, we were top five. We did a similar act to High School Musical.
Oh, okay.
It was really, really nice, really, really nice. And I I knew then I had a lot of more talent than I think I did, especially when singing and dancing and performing and things like that. Like I knew then that's where I blossomed to being a performer. So yeah, that's how I started. Um and I'm grateful for it. I'm very much so grateful for it that I was able to release that, in high school, because, being in high school, singing and things of that, you get nervous and you don't know if people gonna boo you. You don't know if they gonna, like, ooh, she's kind of miss, stuff like that. So it's like, but after I got done singing, I had a round of applause. It went crazy. I was like, okay, 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 okay. Well, I'm very much grateful for just for singing in high school,
Hmm.
and my teachers pushing me to perform and things of that. So yeah.
For sure. It sounds like that really propelled you and gave you a good foundation for the future, which is, yeah, really, really awesome. Okay. So since we're on the topic of foundations and music and all of that, tell us about your music. Like what inspires it?
What inspires my music is everyday life, the trials and tribulations of what we go through as humans, um, in the Black community, and my mission and goal is to empower people, is to empower all of us to keep going and keep striving, and to not give up, and to talk about the reality, talk about experiences, um, because we go through so much that we need more like upbeat, uplifting songs to keep us going. And at first, I didn't. At first, I started writing poetry about, my feelings, uh, thoughts, my experiences, growing into a woman, transitions and all things like that. And those poems turned into songs. And so my first single that I put out in 2020 was inspired by George Floyd, the incidents that was occurring with that, and how there were riots and there was so much things going on. People was dying from COVID. People were afraid and reluctant to take the vaccine. How families was torn, and things like that. And so, you know, the song "What You're Living For" expresses us not living for the world, but living for living for God. Finding God in all of the places of the earth, and moving forward and pressing forward to our goal, and to you know and so that really pushed me to writing that. And from that point, I think I might have received, well, I'm saying might have received, but I received that call to keep it to my music. And it set the tone for me with the other songs that I have. And I'm grateful for that too. Just grateful being a writer, being a songwriter, and being able to learn from different people, and to be able to sit and listen, to my surroundings, and listen attention to what's going on, and be aware. So
Okay, cool. I love that. I love that you answered that because I was definitely going to be asking you about those specific singles. So I'm it's so amazing just talking about how you started writing poetry and then how that lended itself to songwriting. So do you write all of your songs?
I do. I write all of my songs. One of the songs, "Keep Fighting," um, a relative of mine, he wrote that one.
Okay.
Asked me to perform that. So, but the rest of the songs I've written.
Oh wow. So one of your songs, don't is it Don't Let Go or Don't Let It Go?
Yeah, don't
I
let it.
feel Don't Let It Go. I love that song. And I think all of your music, like you said, does it's very thoughtful, but it still kind of has like a upbeat tempo. But it's definitely the type of music that I feel like we need right now that, allows us to hear those deep messages that resonate, but it's still not somber. Like it's like I don't know how to describe it, but it's really good. I feel like it's right on time for where the world is because 2020 happened, you released that single, and I feel like life has just been in a tornado ever
Yeah,
since, like
yeah.
honestly. So your music is definitely needed and it is really, really exciting. And I honestly do look forward to all the singles that you put out because I know that it's going to be deep, it's going to resonate, and it's going to be something that, I can understand and relate to. So kudos to you for,
Yeah.
writing such beautiful songs and then performing them well, at that. Like, I don't know much about music, but I do feel like, you know, you have the song and the lyrics and then the performance really sells it. So great,
Mhm.
for real, for real. Um, how often do you perform?
Um, I performed over. I've had over 11 performances since 2020, since I became out as a solo artist. My first, when I put out "What You're Living For" in 2020, 6 months later, 6 months later, a guy named Cody Cox, he reached out to me about performing at Urban Foxes, which is a coffee shop here that allows live performances, and events and things like that. And so he scheduled me to perform December 2021. And I remember telling my dad about, my performance, and I was excited. And I was like, "Dad, I'm performing December the 10th," And I was like, "It's my first performance. I get to perform my song." And he was asking me, was I going to play my guitar? And I told him, yeah. And he was just talking about some things on the business side. And before my dad could even see me, before my dad could even see me perform my first show, my father passed September 2021. And I cherish that conversation that we had, um telling him about that I was having a performance that was coming up, because it meant something to me to tell him. And I knew that he would be there. I knew he would be there having his camcorder and things of that. But just the conversation with us having it on the business side was very was a very moment, a very cherished a moment that I would cherish because he believed in me and he wanted to make sure that I was going to be okay when it comes to financial things, when it comes to making sure that the band is accommodated. He just wanted to make sure that I had the business side together. And that's what I really cherish the most, just our conversation with that. And I played my guitar. I played my guitar just for him at that performance. And it was so different. It was so different for me. Just that being by my first performance. Um, and after that, performances just started coming. I had performances with Black Mountain Radio Hour in Oxford, Mississippi. I had one in Clinton, Mississippi. I performed for Jackson Indie Music Awards in 2023 at Doolin Hall. I had a performance with Bell Haven, two performances at Bell Haven and Fertile Ground. They had a Christmas pop-up shop, and they had another event back in August of 2023 that I performed. And then I had a couple more after that, but I canceled those because I was going through a shift, and I didn't know exactly what it was, but I didn't have I wasn't focused on performing after that August performance. I had no focus on performing because I felt like it was something that I needed to see personally. It was um it was something that God was trying to show me within myself how to do things, how to move, what's the next phase. And so I declined some shows, and to be honest with you, I really didn't it really didn't bother me because I gave so much of my time since 2023 performing all the way up to 2023. And I gave so much of my time performing. I said, "Well, Lord, if you want me to sit down, if you want me to talk, if there's something I feel a shift, then maybe I need to listen. I need to take heed." And so I took 3 months off in that year. I put out 2 singles in that year. And then 2024, which is this year that came, um, I had a performance at the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum. And I I received an email about because I follow Mississippi Archives and History. So they send me I subscribe to them. So they send me, different things that they're doing. And so when I saw that event come up, um, I signed up to perform. And the song that I did was "What You Living For." We had research about the Freedom Summer, so I felt like that song was very appropriate to perform. And I said, "Yeah, I can perform this song. I play my guitar. I can see people can see the intimate side of me and things of that." And so it was just my time because in between August 2023 and February 2024, um, that was just personal time for me to grow, to transition, to take leaps of faith. In between that, I had therapy sessions. I started therapy in October 2023, and I think that was a part of my transition too, to do some personal growth. And so from that point up to now, um, just by working. I hope I'm not talking so much.
Oh no, I love it. I'm listening.
So just up to for now, February 2024, that was my previous performance. I have some more coming up. I gotta just finalize some dates. But yeah.
Okay. And that performance you're referencing was at the MLK Night of Culture.
Yes, that was the MLK.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, yeah. I hate I missed it. How was that experience
It was
performing?
super nice. It was super nice. It was so many talented artists and musicians that was there. Fifth Child, he hosted it. So
Hmm.
it was really nice.
Okay, cool, cool. Awesome. You have been just answering all my little questions. I love it. I'm here for it. Let's see. Okay, so beyond art, design, and music, you are also very stylish. How does your creativity influence your sense of style?
Whew, that's a good one. Um, it depends on it depends on how I'm feeling. Sometimes, and also too, like I like to try different styles as well. Um, I also too, I also research different cities of their street style. So like I would look at the Philadelphia street style, I look at the New York street style, I look at the South street style, California street style. So I just look at different ways people are dressing.
Mm-hmm.
And and even with myself, like it just depends on what I'm feeling, if I want to do mixed patterns, if I want to come out solid, if I want to just put colors together. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning to to learn to have fun with my style. So, you know, and I like to bring out the feminist side of me too. Um and just feeling my self-esteem more, and just see that side of me just flourish. And that's my style, you know.
Okay. Well, I love it. You always look real cute. I'm like, where'd she get that from? Where'd she get that from? So you are doing it, ma'am, for sure.
But you know what? I like your style too, though. Like I be
Thank
watching.
you. I try. I try, honestly. When I wrote that question, I was like, dang, I need to think about that question for myself. But you answered it well, definitely. Do you go on like Pinterest or do you have like specific places that you go to look for that style inspo or anything like that?
I do go to Pinterest, and
Okay.
also look at different boutiques. I go on Instagram, look at different boutiques and how people are putting their clothes and stuff together. So,
Okay, yeah, that's smart.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so since the topic of this podcast episode was what's in a name, how would you name yourself and where you are in your career at this point? And it can be like a simple thing. Like I would consider myself at this point an artist and designer, even though it's so many things that I do that's encompassed in that. You
Mm-hmm.
can choose something like that as well. So if it's just one name or even if it's three or four, how are you, describing yourself?
I would say one word: an artist.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. I love that. Do you feel like everything you do fits within that from your music to your, actual creating art and all of that?
It does. It does.
Okay. I'm here for it. Okay. Yes, ma'am, artist. So all of that, if y'all can remember when I described her at the beginning, just delete that. She's an artist. So we know. We know who she is. So get it right. Okay, so since we're wrapping this up, is there any question that you wish I'd ask you during this episode?
Well, I don't think so. And I still think about our memories at Jackson State.
I know, right? I was like, when I was getting ready, I was like, oh my God, we've come such a long way. Like, I can't believe that was so long ago. It feels like just yesterday. So,
I know.
yeah,
It was super fun. Like
it was. It
even
really was.
now, even now as we're older guys, um, I just love our personalities.
Mhm.
I love how we have this third eye, if I can say. Like we see things so differently within people, and it's so lovable, and
Yeah,
it's so it's humbling, and that's what I love that.
I agree
I,
totally. Totally, totally. Okay. So what's the biggest takeaway that you hope listeners learn from you sharing your experiences today?
The biggest takeaway I would say is give yourself give yourself grace to grow. Um, find find inspiration. Um, find inspiration in the in the small things. Um, and I say find inspiration in the small things. Is be grateful for where you are, where you've been, and where you're going, and um, find time to balance. Enjoy yourself. If you have on your spare time, um, find listen to music, play an instrument, learn an instrument, or anything. Learn something new in your spare time. But find that balance. Give yourself grace and think outside the box. Um, and if you are in a box, if you're in a box, that's okay. But however, God wants us to elevate. He wants us to grow. So he's not going to keep us in a box for too long. He's always it's going to be somebody or something that's going to bring you out the box so you can think creatively because he's a creative. God is a creative. And that's what I would just want to share with everybody on the podcast. Just to think outside the box, give yourself grace, find time to balance, learn how to balance, and love who you are. We are growing humans. Love who you are. So that's all I have.
Okay, yes, I love that. God is a creative. Oh my God, you are dropping so many gems. Okay. Okay, so I want to ask what's next for you, but I know you said that you're going to be popping out with that news pretty quickly. So, where can we follow you on social media so we can see that news with you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Allie Durr, ALLYDURR. You can also follow me on YouTube at Alice Soul, but you can also put in Allie Durr and you can go straight to the site. Um, and also I have a website. It's allydurrmusic.net. I will also be dropping some, news and uh booking dates and performances and shows on that site too. So you can be on the lookout for some things on that site as well. So let's keep in touch.
Awesome, awesome. And where can we find your music?
You can find my music on all music streaming platforms such as Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Pandora. Um, they have it on TikTok too. But those are those platforms you can go to. Also YouTube Music. So
Awesome, awesome. Okay, well, Allie, thank you so much for agreeing to be on the Parable of Design podcast. This was my very first one that you had the honor of kicking off for me. Yes. Thank you so much. I think you're so inspiring. I loved all the gems that you dropped today. I loved our friendship. I love it. Love your music. I love your art. I know you're an artist, as you have, told us. So just thank you so much.
also too. Okay, so um, I'm working with Mississippi Votes, the Arts and Activism Fellowship. So
Okay.
be on the lookout also too for some music that's going to come out with it's 8 artists, music
Mm,
and singers, rappers, poets, uh,
okay.
um, things of that. But be on the lookout for that because it's going to be some incredible music that's coming out. That's I say that it's for every genre, for every person, whatever you like, is something on there for you. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Mystic Votes
Awesome.
and Fellowship.
Do they have a Instagram or anything?
They do have Instagram at Mississippi Votes, MSVOTES.
Okay, perfect. Definitely gonna be on the lookout for that. Oh my God. And you
Yeah.
said all genres?
Pretty much, you know, pretty much
Okay.
genres.
And you're gonna be on there, most
On
importantly.
here too.
Okay. Perfect, perfect. So be on the lookout for that and go follow Allie at all of her social media from IG to YouTube and download and stream her music. So that's
Yay.
it for today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.